You can fail based on insufficient sections, which are the horizontal columns, or insufficient items, which would be the 7 criteria points. Here's a complete guide to understanding driving test points. In this video, I'll show you actual driving test sheets and how to avoid crucial mistakes. When changing lanes, the order of things must be specific. After you indicated and checked your mirrors, then you check your blind spot before you move over. Head check error, late check, changing lanes. In this instance, the candidate looked while changing lanes, which is unsafe. If you intend to change lanes, for example, from the left to the right lane, and at the same time, another vehicle's entering, aligning to go to the right lane, avoid changing until you pass that vehicle. Here's how you should do it in your driving test, and I recommend keeping this habit. Indicate correctly, pay close attention to your surroundings, check your blind spot, and then diverge to the next lane. Never start changing at the same time or before looking over your shoulder. Never change lanes too sharply. Take a little longer distance to maintain optimal control. For example, if you're driving at 60 kilometers an hour, take about 60 meters to get across to the next lane. Acceleration and sharp steering never have a good relationship. If you're approaching a green light, and if the light changes to amber light, you shouldn't stop if you're too fast and too close. Many test candidates fail their test by losing significant points for flow. Flow is one of the 7 criteria points on the test score sheet. It's best to be cautious, but avoid suddenly braking to avoid entering an amber light. It's also worth knowing that remaining in left lanes in Australia will help traffic flow and bring you closer to passing your driving test. Here's the mistake that overcautious drivers make. Disobeys stop, give way or regulations, stops and has right of way. General driving. If you have a safe gap, you should proceed. Avoid encouraging other road users to go before you if you have enough time and space to proceed. This mistake is usually caused by late anticipation. If you don't look what's coming when you're approaching roundabout, for example, you're not going to know if you've got a safe gap or not. The last statement, of course, excludes red lights and stop signs. Unaware of situations and hazards does not alter to changing situation, approaching hazard. If you're driving through roadworks on your driving test, drive to the conditions. If you encounter a rough road surface with potholes, you may need to slow down as low as 5 kilometers per hour. If you're thinking, shouldn't this be 40 kilometers an hour speed limit? Well, you can't drive 40 kilometers on this terrain, which is what signage usually suggests. By the way, don't only rely on signage. Sometimes there are roadworks and no 40 signs. In your driving test in Western Australia, you have to obey roadworks by dropping your speed down to 40 kilometers an hour, even if there are no signs. If you are overtaking a parked vehicle, regardless of which way it's facing, you must indicate, check your mirror and blind spot before you overtake. They also expect you to check the left side as you overtake the parked car. Head check error, no check before overtaking parked vehicle. Signal error when moving, no signal around parked vehicle. When you reverse park in your driving test, change your viewing angle every 2 to 3 seconds, ensuring nothing slips your right. Failure to do so will result in a loss of points. Did you know that most people who fail parking sections fail because of poor observation? If your observation skills are up to scratch, you shouldn't worry about reverse parking. Even if you make corrections, you can fail based on insufficient sections, which are the horizontal columns, or insufficient items, which would be the 7 criteria points: looking, signaling, flow, movement, path, responsiveness, and vehicle management. Responsiveness is usually marked as not applicable if no emergency stopping or similar events took place during the assessment. I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.